This is guaranteed to take your growth, your career, your entrepreneurial journey to brand new heights. This week, I'm going to share the principles and allow you to really digest which ones you embody naturally. Next week, I'm going to give you the framework to be intentional in practicing servant leadership. Take control of your career and compensation right now. It's your 5-minute career hack. I remember like it was yesterday. I walked into this office, and at the time, I was working in a cubicle in Bentonville, Arkansas. And for anyone that's been in Walmart's corporate office back in 2008, 2009, you know those cubicles were at best 3x3, maybe 4x4 if I'm generous. So, to walk into the chief tax officer's office was a very different experience. On the wall, on her desk, very intentional and very purposeful. It gave me a feeling of admiration. This incredible Black leader who I got the chance to be mentored by. She was extremely strategic, even down to her office space. It was so inviting and warm. To some degree, I might have been a little bit overwhelmed, as the next person would have been when I sat down. However, this particular chief tax officer was from my home state, Claire Babineau-Fontenot. She is the epitome of Louisiana, Black excellence, and so much more. To sit down in this particular mentoring session on that day was special. One that has guided my leadership and one that has guided the way that I show up in the world. Not just in my career, not just in my entrepreneurial journey, but also in my personal relationships and my family. The topic for this session is servant leadership. It was the first time almost 17 years ago that I heard the term and the principles. Anyone that has heard Claire speak, she has one of the most engaging and endearing tones. She made taxes sound exciting, inspirational, and life-altering. Taxes. The way she easily broke down the servant leadership principles, I was completely mesmerized. Primarily because there was something about each and every one of those principles that touched my soul, that connected with my very being, as well as what I was created to be. In that moment, it was the first time I started to fully understand who I was and who I was created to be on this earth. You might be thinking about a time when you learned something that helped you connect the dots or discover something about yourself that finally made sense. It's such a surreal experience. My insides were in knots with anxiousness, and I could not take notes fast enough. Today's career hack is all about servant leadership, a topic that I could discuss every time I open up my mouth. I often say we were not put on this earth to be alone, but that we were put on this earth to be in community, to learn from one another, to grow with one another, to serve one another. Understanding in the workforce that if you are leading people or someone is leading you, or you interact with people, you are serving others. Whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, that's exactly what you're doing. And it's time to gain a deeper understanding of all of the principles to be able to activate them in your leadership and in your personal life. This is guaranteed to take your growth, your career, your entrepreneurial journey to brand new heights. This week, I'm going to share the principles and allow you to really digest which ones you embody naturally. Next week, I'm going to give you the framework to be intentional in practicing servant leadership. So let's dive in. Let's start with the challenge that opposes servant leadership. And that is, does it deliver financial results? Because a company still has to make money. Herb Kelleher, founder of Southwest Airlines, and under his leadership is the model of servant leadership. He had a philosophy of putting employees first that resulted in 35 plus consecutive years, not quarters, years of profitability, low turnover, and engagement that was through the roof. This was completely unheard of in the airline industry. Here are the servant leadership principles. Listening. Effective servant leaders don't just speak, but listen to what their team has to say. They give ample opportunity for all members to be heard and then listen carefully to what's being said and what is not being said. They give others their full attention. They notice coworkers' nonverbal cues, avoid interrupting them when speaking, and give constructive feedback. Empathy. Effective servant leaders care about their team on a personal level. They understand that when their team feels happy and fulfilled in their personal lives, it contributes to success in their professional lives. They value others' perspectives and approach situations with an open mind. Because of this, servant leaders make it a priority to show their team members they care about them and try to help them with personal issues when they can. Healing. Effective servant leaders understand the importance of fixing problems before moving on to new goals and projects. For example, your team may have suffered a setback last quarter due to a team disagreement. To face new challenges of this quarter, the team needs to be able to heal and come to an agreement first. Servant leaders make sure their team has the knowledge, support, and resources to do their jobs effectively. I wanted to stop you for a second because we are all about no fluff and all action. We've designed a special free worksheet just for this career hack. The worksheet will highlight all of the career hacks in this video and any of the extra things we just couldn't fit into this episode. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely free, click the link in the description below. Self-awareness. Effective servant leaders are aware of themselves and their teams. Self-awareness is the ability to look at yourself, think deeply about your emotions and behavior, and consider how they affect the people around you. In being self-aware, servant leaders accept and grow from their own weaknesses. They are aware of their team's individual strengths and weaknesses to help them grow and learn. Persuasion. Effective servant leaders guide and persuade their team members. Whereas an authoritarian leader might tell team members what to do, a servant leader tells them why it's the best method or process. They seek to convince the team as a whole and build consensus. Conceptualization. Effective servant leaders think beyond small tasks and communicate larger goals, why they are important to their teams. They help their team members understand their roles and stay motivated while focusing on the company's long-term objectives and goals. Foresight. Effective servant leaders understand the importance of learning from the past mistakes and successes and using lessons learned to productively evaluate present decisions. They identify what's happening now and understand the consequences of their decisions and then help their teams do the same. They use tools like a SWOT analysis to evaluate their current situation and environment and SMART goals to plan ahead. Stewardship. Effective servant leaders acknowledge and understand the importance of their responsibilities. They protect and uphold the trust and confidence given to them in their role and communicate this to their team. They lead by example, demonstrating the values and behaviors they want to see in others. Commitment to growth. Effective servant leaders motivate their teams to grow. They are committed to helping their teams develop professionally. Servant leaders help their team members become leaders themselves by leading by example and providing their team opportunities to grow and develop. They also find out what their employees' personal goals are and give them projects or responsibilities to help them achieve their goals. Building community. Effective servant leaders encourage collaboration and engagement within their organizations. They value the opinions of everyone on their team and encourage them to share those opinions to actively contribute to the team regularly. They provide opportunities for interaction through social events, workspace design, or even by opening meetings with non-work related conversations. Now let's run it all the way back. We've got listening, empathy, healing, self-awareness, persuasion, conceptualization, foresight, stewardship, commitment to growth, and building community. Do the homework, use the worksheet, and most importantly, be honest. Until next time, I feel and receive the love you show me in the comments and reviews. Please don't stop sharing, and I love you.
Now, the 5-minute career hack, we call this hacking. Look at you. You just did it. And you don't have to stop here. Take one step every week and ensure that you are pouring into you and getting closer to your career goals. Yep, see that button down there? Hit subscribe, but don't stop there because you know what they say, sharing is caring. So take 5 and we'll see you next week.